noon hour is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, let's get it. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a wonderful day because we are essentially taking care of Mother's Day for you. It's really simple. We do this every year around Christmas, around Valentine's Day, around Mother's Day. Those are the three big ones that you cannot screw up. You got to do Christmas right. You got to do Mother's Day right. You got to do Valentine's Day right. And then there's going to be an anniversary birthday in there too. But those are your big three as far as having to do well and making sure you give the right gifts. So what do? All you have to do is just come down to Minky Couture. And we are in Layton. They've got a bunch of locations up and down the Wasatch Front. But you come on into Layton today. You say hi to me and Hans. You're going to walk out of here with a great blanket, and you're going to know, bam, Mother's Day's done. You got it covered. You can't screw it up.
You can't screw it up, and we've already got one of our favorite listeners, actually.
Yes, sir.
Who typically brings us the jalapeno taffies and chocolate-covered cinnamon bears. But he's come in, and he's got himself a blanket, and this is how it goes, man. We're giving you an insane discount, a crazy discount, so that you can afford one of these beautiful blankets for mom, for wife, for sister that may have a kid or two. Let's take care of those amazing moms out there.
Yeah. It's really simple. If you need to take care of your mom, your wife, let's say you have a daughter that's made you a granddad, either way.
Yeah.
Just knock it out. It's real simple.
Let's get a blanket for everybody.
Blankets for everybody. And you get yourself a blanket, too, because, Hans and I are not we're secure enough in our own masculinity to say that we like being underneath a Minky.
Yes.
Not
absolutely.
together, but in our own respective houses.
I drag my Minky out almost every other evening. So I do love my Minky. And by the way, we're going to give a little bit of leeway to Sandy. She is sitting down with Bad Morning America, and she's got more important things to do. So Lisa is going to be joining us today.
Sandy, not with us. She's in No Big Deal, New York, hanging out at Good Morning America.
Live and in person.
Yes. So, all right. So, again, we're up in Layton. It's real easy to find. Just type in Minky Couture Layton. It'll bring you right here. It's you can get off Hillfield Road and come around. It's essentially the old Navy building right next to Barnes & Noble. Simple to find.
It's simple to find, and Scotty put his car in neutral and coasted down the hill here to Minky Couture. I, however, stopped in Taylorsville to get bullets so that I could take down another deer, so that I could feed my family by the time I get to North Salt Lake. And then as I made my way into Bountiful, lost one child to dysentery.
Yeah, you battled cholera.
Smallpox and cholera. And then we lost one of our wheels off the wagon. I had to slaughter an oxen.
Hey, I have been begging you to come to Davis County. Move the family up to Davis County. It's much better up here. You don't need to live by Delta. Come on up here.
And what have I told you? I can't
you can.
afford it. I know that you love to make me admit on air that you're more wealthy than me, and I'm fine admitting it.
Only one of us has like 40 acres.
Can't afford it. And all that acreage is an albatross around my neck, costing me taxes and heartache and indecision.
Oh, no, I was just talking about the lot your house is on. I wasn't even talking about.
Well, that 40 acres got pared down to just over an acre.
We weren't talking about those 40 acres or those other properties, those other 10 properties.
Hey, Lloyd, how about you move to Bountiful, Lloyd?
I definitely can't afford that. That's why I stay out in my parts.
Okay. You can.
I stay west.
All you have to do is sell off one of your microwave ovens, and you can afford a lot in Bountiful.
Stop it. Now, I do have nice microwave ovens in every one of my rentals because I do think people that rent need a good microwave oven option.
See, that's what sets Hans apart. There's no slumlord here, man. You get one of Hans' places, you're gonna be cooking those hot pockets in luxury.
Well, it's more for like a Thanksgiving day when you've got the turkey in the oven and you could still use your microwave to toast up those marshmallows on top of the yams.
Yeah.
Like that's more what we're talking about.
You need to get that cranberry cooking from the can. Boom, just pop it in that microwave oven. You're good to go.
Hey, I do love this area, though.
Oh, it's awesome.
So do you get these jets flying around your house, or is this stay around
No,
Hill
this
Air
is
Force?
because they're got Hill just down the line. But
they don't go quite far enough south.
no, or that high on the mountain. I'm just
Or that high on the mountain. Yeah, because you and Eubank are up above the timberline.
Yeah, we're up above the flight path.
And I love that Kevin Eubank stops by your house with a dozen donuts and is like, hey, Scotty, let's sit down and talk about our wealth together. And then we'll talk about how the peasants have to deal with the rain in the lower valleys.
Just knock out a pen or two on the lathe.
Anyways.
To sign our checks, our big checks.
Oh, okay, Lloyd. Hey,
Why are you guys attacking each other? What's going on?
Between the three of us, only one of us has a parking spot.
Yeah, that's absolutely
No, I
true.
actually. Yes, I do have a parking spot.
Yeah, we know you do.
Yeah.
Because you get booted one time and you're going to bring down the whole business over it. Lloyd getting booted.
Boot me and I'll sue.
Lloyd getting booted in our building's parking area is the greatest story.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And especially because of who did it, too.
Hey, by the way, did that snitch get a stitch, Lloyd? Or did you let that fly?
Let's just say he won't be doing that again.
Okay. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I hope it took a while for that wound to close.
Yeah, there was some internal bleeding, some damage there, but that person's going to get through it all right.
Well, speaking of healing, we've got a new name.
Yep.
And,
hey, let's do some jersey talk, shall we? Let's break it down.
Talk about the kits.
Careful. That's soccer.
Oh, is that just soccer?
Yeah, I think the hockey people will get really upset if you call them kits.
Let's talk sweaters.
They're sweaters. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Hans and Scotty G.
Let's go.
The lineup is set, and it's time to kick off the show with the biggest topic of the day. This is the starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You know what I thought was really surprising this morning is that it was the Utah Mammoth. I did not see that coming.
Oh, blindsided. Absolutely blindsided.
Like a mammoth just barreling right into your car going 60 miles an hour. I did not see that happening.
Hey, did you know that there were 850,000 ballots cast?
I did not know that.
850,000.
Yeah.
So they did multiple rounds. It was about a 13-month process to get to the bottom of the name.
But was it secure? Was it a mail-in ballot?
I don't know. And did we have stars on our driver's licenses as we showed them at the door? I don't know. And will there be a judiciary system that will find tampering?
Were there any hanging chads?
The hanging chad. Holy cow.
That's going back a ways, huh?
Back.
Yeah.
Was that the
That was
Bush election?
That was
wasn't it?
2000, yeah.
That might have been the first election I actually voted in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think I just got married with Amanda, and we're like, well, now that we're married, we have to be upstanding citizens.
We're adults. We have to vote.
And I'm pretty sure that our Chad hung. But that was only in Florida, wasn't it?
That was just in Florida. That's your second state. You're home away from home.
850,000 ballots cast, and we finally came to the decision on Mammoth. This is after Yeti shut the door on the state because the Yeti coolers were not cool enough to allow their name to be shared.
Heaven forbid they don't charge, $8,000 for a cooler.
Yeah.
If you're going to charge that, at least you can let us borrow a name for crying out loud.
Yeah, and work in collaboration.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
There's so many things, marketing opportunities you could have there.
Think outside the box and have a little bit of fun with it.
Come on, Yeti.
Yeah, all this was just going to globalize the name a little bit more, and you could have your expensive coolers attached to the name of it. But I'm actually glad because, I did not like the name Yeti.
You did not?
No, did not like the name Yeti. I wasn't real fond of Outlaw. I didn't. There were very few that I actually liked. And Mammoth kind of crept to the top of the pile about 5 or 6 months ago for me. as we talked about, as it was starting to kind of grow in popularity. I don't, however, want it to become some dopey snuffleupagus deal. I don't want it to be, that stupid thing that would walk around Sesame Street all tangly haired and acting like a dope.
So you want an aggressive, angry mascot?
Yes, I don't want it to be, what is that, the cartoon with the
Ice Age?
With the sloth.
You don't want it sounding like Ray Romano?
Yeah, no, I don't want it to be that mammoth.
Oh, man, if Ray Romano comes in and is the PA guy. Hey, it's your Utah Mammoth.
I don't know how people like and listen to Ray Romano. And my parents loved that show he was on. What was the Ray Romano show where he was the brother?
Oh, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah. I could 5 seconds into that, I'm like, I want to punch this guy in the face. Whiny little butt. I don't want a stupid, dopey mammoth.
How about
make it a bloodthirsty, head-stomping, big old hefty nasty thing. And the logo kind of shows that. Like I like the logo. People don't like the logo, or I've seen some people pushing against the logo.
I think the logo's great. I think they did a fantastic job, and the little Easter eggs that are in that, like the state of Utah kind of in the one corner of it, like they did a really good job. You know who the most popular mascot is in the NHL?
No.
From the Philadelphia Flyers, it's a mascot called Gritty, and that's what it looks like.
What is that?
Nobody really knows.
It looks like Oscar the Grouch, but orange.
Yeah, and they don't really even know. They just were having some fun, and then all of a sudden they decided to go with that, and then it just took off for some reason.
Can I give my 2 cents?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's a good looking mascot.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Push it off the upper deck. That's ridiculous. I like having the bear just be the mascot.
Just the dual mascot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because the bear isn't attached to the Jazz. The bear isn't attached to the Mammoth. But the bear, because of what John did with the bear through the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, the bear is iconic. I think it's one of the best mascots in all sports, separate from the NBA. And every game that I've gone to, and I was able to get out to quite a few games, every game I've gone to, I thought the bear did good. Now, the bear can do better. And I think if the bear realized, wait a second, this is my show, just like the Jazz are my show, I'm going to go own this thing, then he'll get out there with more than just the drum. But I'm going to tell you, being at the games and having multiple interactions with that bear, he's awesome. And I don't know, do they have a couple of bears now? Is it just one?
I think it's just one.
Is it just one?
I believe so.
Because he's really dang good, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
And I watch him move around and mill around because I'm always comparing the bear to John.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Well, there's only one John.
There's only one John. But I'm always comparing the bear to John. And this guy is really good, and the bear is a great mascot. Everybody knows the bear. Everybody looks for the bear. So just leave it the bear. Don't traipse in some dopey, tusked out, long-trunked looking moron mascot.
Yeah, I just look. I think the jerseys look cool, or the sweaters. Sorry, I think the sweaters look good. I think the logo looks good. I don't really, but here's the thing: like, it just doesn't. If they wanted to keep it the Utah Hockey Club, they could have kept it the Utah Hockey Club. I understand this is a big moment for this franchise. I'm very fired up. You know what I'm more interested in? Who are you drafting at 4th? Who are you trading that 4th overall pick for? What kind of free agent acquisitions? What are the trade looking like?
What are you doing with your $22 million?
Exactly.
That's the for number 4.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Good things happen to good people.
Yes. And that's Ryan Smith saying, hey, big thanks to for number 4. Now we need to have that same conversation with Adam Silver. Hey, thanks for number 1.
Oh, man. Oh, let that happen. Because as big as this Mammoth announcement and the number 4 pick in this NHL lottery and all that, if the Jazz did land the number 1, it would be all the news for the next month.
It's the summer of the drafts here in the state of Utah, and it's going to happen, by the way.
It's going to happen.
The Jazz are going to get Cooper Flagg.
Everybody's got to believe it, man. And, we've got to speak it into full existence.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. So it's got to happen. But I like the logo. You talked about how the Utah is hidden kind of in the ear of the Mammoth, and then you've got an M that runs through the state of Utah for Mammoth. And, you got those hidden little gems. The tusk, how it kind of rolls up past the trunk, and the trunk kind of tucks down like another tusk. I just think it all looks pretty sweet, and it's tight. It's got the Wasatch Mountain that runs across the top of the Mammoth head, so you've got a little bit of mention to our mountains. The colors are sand white, mountain blue, and rock black.
Rock black.
Rock black.
I like that we can just assign colors.
Yeah.
Like really, this is rock black.
Rock black.
It's not black. No, it's rock black.
Yeah, it's rock black, and so I really like the color scheme.
I do too.
I liked it when it was at Utah Hockey Club, and I think they're going to make a lot of money off of the Mammoth logo.
Well, again, is it open now, Lloyd? Did they open it at noon? Yeah, so you just go to the arena right now. You can walk in and you can go buy yourself a hoodie. You can buy yourself a shirt, hat. You're ready to go. They already have some stuff ready to go. I don't know when the sweaters will be available, but that I imagine that will be very soon as well. But I like the fact that you kept the one that has like the Utah going diagonal down, because that's a thing.
Oh, did they keep it?
Yeah, that's being kept as one of the jerseys.
It should.
Yeah, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, I don't care about Mammoth. I don't care about Yeti. I don't care. What I care about is this is a signal to the rest of the sporting world that Utah is not messing around. And so I want Utah to be your primary focus, because I'm proud of this state. You and I are not natives of this state, but we've lived here longer than we lived in our other state. And so I consider myself a Utahn. And so, yeah, I want the rest of the world to know this is a pretty damn fine state, and that we've got things cooking here, that we've got NHL, that we've got NBA, and hopefully we'll have Major League Baseball, and we've got all this stuff going on, and the stuff that Ryan Smith keeps talking about, the youngest demographic, the business, influx of business and sponsorships, and being a bastion for entrepreneurs and businesses to thrive here. That's the important thing. Mm-hmm. And so having Utah front and center, I like that.
I like it too. The secondary logo I think is pretty sweet too. Just going off that Utah down the chest. You've seen the Utah now with the tusk that sweeps through the U.
Yes.
I think that's a pretty good look too. So there are a couple of logoed options out there I think people are going to love. And the tusk up thing, I think it's a fun deal. I think what are they talking about calling the pit of fans the boneyard or something like that?
Oh, I don't hate that.
Yeah, I think they're calling it the boneyard, and there's so many different plays that you can really run off this. And then I just didn't realize a few things. I did not realize that a Mammoth could run 24 miles an hour. A Mammoth could get it 24 miles an hour, and that's kind of top speed on skates. I didn't realize that.
Do we really know a Mammoth can run 24 hours?
Well, they're assuming it based off of what an elephant can do.
Legend says.
So what
I don't remember like a Neanderthal with a radar gun being like, I clocked him at 25, Thor.
Whatever, Dixon. You couldn't see past your brow. I think, actually, what they did do is they took the average speed of an elephant, and then they took an elephant skeletal system and compared it to the Mammoth skeletal system. They said, well, we got to probably take off a half mile because of the drag of the hair.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the tusks aren't very aerodynamic.
No, and the tusks weigh more on a mammoth than they do on an elephant.
Yeah.
The mammoth tusk.
And we all know if you've had a Pinewood Derby, you don't want a lot of the weight in the front too. You gotta have that centered. So that
really?
would slow it down.
I thought you wanted front weight on a.
No, you got to have it balanced. Actually, you want a good balance. So you put your car on your finger, and then you want it like at the 3/4 mark, and it needs to balance there.
Okay. Can you graphite or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because back in the day, they used to check to see if you had graphite.
Well, no, you put the little powder. You put that powder in there.
The graphite
powder. Yeah, that's
powder?
legal. But there's a lot of other things you can do to cheat.
Like what? Motorize it?
No. It's just there's a nice black market of wheels that accelerate a little faster than
Is that
maybe.
true?
Oh yeah.
You can't EV your Pinewood Derby?
You can't EV it, no. But there's some other workarounds.
Which you haven't done, right?
Oh, I fully admit I cheat like crazy.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. No, my kids, we're not finishing.
I've always wondered why every one of your sons won the Derby.
Oh, yeah. No, the first one we did, our car couldn't even finish. It was so badly built. And at that point, and my son looked at me, and he had that look of like, you failed me as a father. And so at that point, I'm like, I will never lose another Pinewood Derby. Will never happen. And so we cheat like crazy. My kids don't know that. They are not accomplices. Okay? This is me. I took control of the build. I took control of the stuff that you can buy on Amazon.
You took control of the sin.
I took control. It is on me.
The sin is on you.
It's on the father, not on the children. And but yeah, no, we've never lost another Pinewood Derby since.
I actually find that to be integrous. I find it to be upstanding.
Because I want my kids to know what it's like to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you got to go to great lengths to get that W, man.
Yeah. And by the way, those little den moms, they're Nazis too. They'll if you're cheating, they'll try to sniff it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you got Susan down the street. She ain't letting that fly, but you know, she ain't that smart.
So you're covering it up.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm going the other way. I'm showing my kids what it's like to lose. I'm gonna let them do it on their own.
Oh geez, they don't learn anything from that.
Lloyd wants to know if you built the Pinewood Derby on your lathe.
No.
No?
No, you can't. Lloyd.
Wait, you can't? What do you mean you can't? You really can't use a lathe to...
I can't build you a frame.
Okay, I get the frame. I understand that. I'm sorry I
can't build
thought
you a car.
that.
Go get you a bandsaw, and then you're in good shape. But, yeah, no, lathe ain't going to get that done. All right, Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You're locked on to Hans Olsen and Scotty Chin. That's right. Yeah! On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We want you to get on down here, or get on up here, regardless of where you're at. Zone 55. That is your promo code, or that's what you need to tell your associate when you go to Minky Couture today. We're in Layton. We'd love for you to come on by here. Brant's got some candy for you too. So just don't be eating that chocolate while you're browsing these blankets. But we'll give you some chocolate. Be able to check out these Minky Couture blankets. Give you 55% off, and then you walk out and you know that Mother's Day is taken care of. All of the great opportunities are here and ready to go for you at Minky Couture. All right, the press conference took place earlier today. Ryan Smtih, Gary Bettman, commissioner of the NHL. He was on hand as the announcement was made of the Utah Hockey Club now becoming the Utah Mammoth.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. This has truly been an incredible journey, incredible moment, and I just look out here and it's some phase of this process like we have been working with pretty much every single person in this room, so it's pretty special. I think for Ash and I, like, honestly, I don't know that you can choose your passions and all of them in life. Some of them find you, and, you know, for us, and they can really kind of turn into part of your life's mission. And for us, that's, if I look over the last 5 years and even before, it's really been Utah and building Utah along with, as I look out, many of the other people here where their life's mission's really been building Utah. And we live in such an amazing state, an amazing place. And part of that building process is both internal and external. And from an internal standpoint, it's all the work that we're doing in bringing our Utahns together. It's building infrastructure around here. And there's a lot of people in Utah that are working on that. And it's humbling to be a part of that. And sports really magnifies that and brings that together. There's an external component as well, which I think is very much one of kind of what is that Utah experience? What is it for people who haven't experienced what we think is so amazing in this state? And what makes it so unique. And if I think about the last 13 months, we've had a chance to kind of show a a new audience, a new world, an entirely new community, like how we roll. And I think we were, what has it been, 54 weeks since we sat down, Gary, and I don't know how many more of these press conferences we're going to have together, but it seems like we're kind of towards the end of this. But
No, we can keep going.
yeah, we will. When we etch Utah Mammoth and Lord Stanley's Cup, that'll be a good one. But I think if I look back 54 weeks ago, we did a deal on a handshake because we didn't have signed documents. You trusted, and I've always heard trust is the ultimate currency. You trusted our community. You trusted our leaders, and you trusted our fan base that we wouldn't have an arena issue. And I'm looking at Mayor Wilson, Mayor Mendenhall, Governor, Speaker, like you did what you said you were going to do, and our commitment to you. You trusted that we could get a practice facility built. You trusted that we could play in 6 months. You trusted very begrudgingly that we were going to turn our identity over to the entire state of Utah to vote on this, which at multiple points, including the final one where we said we were going to actually show logos to people, I could see you and Brian's eyes go, you are not going to do this. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And, with nearly 1 million people opining on creative design, which seems like an absolute disaster, you said, all right, we're going to roll with this. And so I think, first of all, thank you so much for trusting our community in Utah, because that is something that I'll never forget. And I think if there's something that we hope came out of the way we roll in Utah, it's that we do what we say we're going to do. But there's one thing that we haven't really had to trust. It's something that we knew, and those in Utah know it, that Utah shows up. And I think Utah has shown up at every single part of this process. And so, look, we couldn't be more excited. We're humbled from Ash and I. This is our mission to continue to help build. These marks are representation, and they will be iconic out in the world for those who have never experienced us. There's Easter eggs about Utah buried in all of them, if you can see that. And Tuss Up is really a rallying cry. I mean, it's already been used by over 10,000 different times, and it's going to be how we're known. And this whole thing's come together, but this entire identity has been chosen by our community. And I don't think people thought we would actually go for it, but we did, and we landed in the spot that we're pretty excited about, and we know that the community wanted because they chose it. And that's what this whole experience is about.
It's Ryan Smith. He and Ashley Smith, the owners of the Utah Hockey Club, now the Utah Mammoth. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, as you heard, in attendance. Here was some of his comments.
First of all,
Thanks for number 4.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Good things happen to good people, and luck and skill and execution and vision and passion have always been on your agenda, and it's great to see good things happen to good people, and the two of you and this entire community. As I sit here, I'm having a bit of a deja vu moment in a good way, because every time I come here, and it's now been at least 3 times in the last 54 weeks, we're celebrating. And celebrations are fun. It's what makes life great. Although I will say, following the two of you speaking, it's hard to equal your level of passion and energy. So I'll have to raise my game. First of all, thank you to the governor, to the mayors, to the members of the legislature at every level. This has been the total team effort, And yes, we trusted all of you, particularly you two, but you had to trust us. And we did an awful lot on a handshake. But to think in 54 weeks, we did a transaction largely on a handshake that nobody had ever done before, that you figured out how to get the team up and running in a matter of weeks, not really a lot of months, that you got a practice facility on a temporary basis set up and then figured out how to start building a permanent one. And we took a tour a little while ago, what you're doing to this arena and what you're ultimately going to be doing to this whole downtown area is nothing short of transformative and generational. You have the ability, both of you, to have incredible vision, to motivate people, and to execute beyond anybody's expectations. There's a quote, and I think it was Thomas Edison, but I'm not 100% sure, that says, vision without execution is nothing more than a hallucination. While watching all this, I feel like I'm hallucinating. You are executing beyond our wildest imagination. And for that, not only did we trust you, you did more than we ever could have expected, and we're grateful for that. Now, for the community, weighing in on the treatment of a team's identity, we thought it was crazy, but we do crazy pretty good. Whether or not it's playing outdoor games, which we're going to do next season, 2 of them in Florida, or conducting a lottery where you moved up 10 spots. We'll have one here too, not to worry, we've already done a site visit. We trusted you to trust the people of this community, as we did with everything that had to be executed, to come up with something that was fabulous. And you both had mentioned it, having 10,000 children already participating in a game that we think not only creates fans, but brings people together as a community, but for young people, gives them life skills, whether it's leadership, teamwork, discipline, education, which is what we believe hockey's values are. And our values and the values in Utah coincide so spectacularly. We're on the same page. So it's not a surprise that the first year has been almost mind-blowing in terms of how successful Utah and you and everybody in SCG has been. This has been the ultimate team effort for the ultimate team sport. And while you may be thrilled to have us, we're thrilled to be part of Utah and are grateful. Everything, you're going to groan with what I'm about to say, but it just popped into my head. Everything you've tried to do and everything you've done has been a mammoth undertaking. Go ahead, you can groan. But at the end of the day, being part of a community and making a difference in the quality of life here and transforming downtown, not just for the next few years, not just for the Olympics, but generationally, is a testament to your vision and everything you and your people accomplished. We are grateful to be here, and congratulations on what we think is a spectacular name, logo, and treatment. It's all good. And when you win the Stanley Cup, I hope I'm still doing this to present it.
Very cool. Gary Bettman, look, Utah was very good to the NHL and Gary Bettman, getting the facilitating a move out of a really bad, toxic situation in Arizona. And the NHL has been very good to Utah. And this is a match made in heaven. And regardless of what you think about Mammoth, regardless of what you think about colors and sweaters and all that other stuff, it is really cool having another one of the big 4 professional sports in Utah. And if last year's any indication, this team is only going to get better. And they say not if, but when they bring Lord Stanley's Cup to Utah. I mean, that's going to be a pretty cool moment.
It's going to be a great moment. And, I think about a couple things. You think about how ridiculous it is that you start a logo, you start a brand, and that logo and brand dies because you don't care for it well, and the community doesn't care for it well, and the whole Coyotes, everything is dead. And, you know, when we think about some of those iconic original NHL logos like the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, the Red Wings, the Rangers, the Blackhawks, I think that the Canucks are an original. But, you know, those original brands and logos that have really cared about the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need to be 100 years down the road, and the Mammoth need to be one of those brands that lasted through hard times, that went through, you know, multiple downturns on economy and maybe a war or two that was really difficult, and that brand has to last. Otherwise, it's just like, the Mammoth, and then here we are in 15 years, like the Coyotes saying, well, that sucked.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I'm hoping that the Mammoth can be recognized as some of those original logos that I just brought up.
No doubt about it. And I think that's why they took their time to get this thing right, because they want it to withstand. They don't want to do a color change or a logo change 5-6 years from now. They want this to be an iconic brand in the state of Utah and throughout professional sports.
I was going to do some research just to see what the inaugural season in Phoenix, in Arizona, was like, just to see.
Yeah.
You know, because let's not make this a one-off.
No.
That arena was really special.
Hans and Scotty, we're going to talk some Utah summer games. Good friend of the program, John Oglesby, will join us next. We're live here at Minky Couture. Make sure to come on by, say hi. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Looking for the latest on the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, and Aggies? Yeah! We've got you covered. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday. Remember Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. We're going to talk to Lisa here in a bit about Minky Couture and all the great things you can get at Minky. We're up in Layton. We'd love for you to come by, hang out, and you can walk away with one of those blankets. But we'll talk to Lisa about that coming up here in just a moment. John Oglesby is going to join us in just a moment. Longtime friend of the program, the now executive director of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games. I've known John for a long, long time.
Oh, he's the best.
Good of a human being as you'll ever find.
He is the best. And these Summer Olympics are going to be awesome. And Scotty and I are taking a road trip.
Yes, we are. We're going to be down in Cedar City.
Yeah, this is something that Scotty and I have been wanting to be a part of for a long time, so we appreciate John and everybody for thinking about us and getting us down there. Excited to be a part of it.
Yep. So we'll talk to John coming up here in just a moment as they have partnered up with the Raiders.
How would you feel about that?
That's all right. It's okay. Look, Lloyd thinks I hate his Raiders. I don't hate anybody. I'm all about the Raiders.
Well,
the silver and black, baby.
I think the Raiders are doing themselves a lot of good by partnering with such an amazing event.
Yes. In fact, John Oglesby joins us right now, good friend of ours, and, oh, by the way, the executive director of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games. John, how you doing?
Hey, John.
Scotty, Hans, always good to be with you guys. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
You as well.
We are doing very well. So the great thing about the Utah Summer Games, and Hans and I have been fans of it forever, and you do such a great job down there, but now you're partnering with the Raiders. Kind of talk about how this came together and what some of the events are going to come from this.
Yeah, so just really the right place at the right time, fellas. I mean, you know how that goes in life. And so getting the opportunity for us to visit with the Raiders, see what they have interest in. They have big plans and want to get the state of Utah involved very much in what they're doing as a franchise. But the Raiders really have a connection, which is really special to see, to providing opportunities to get young people involved in football. And I know that's a cause that's really deep for both of you guys, is for me as well. And their investment in saying, hey, we want to help sponsor and help promote a 7-on-7 tournament on the tackle side. And then also they're trying to help girls flag football, which is one of the fastest growing sports in the country, to continue to grow in the state of Utah. And they said, hey, we want to try to find a way to work together. And it's been awesome to see their investment in creating a first-in-class experience for high school players and kids in the state of Utah. And then we're hopeful that grows to get kids from other states to get involved as well. It's really been gratifying to work with them.
So, John, let's kind of give a clear-cut idea of the events and what all takes place so people understand what this is about.
Yeah, so June 9th and 10th, we have a 7-on-7 tournament. So most high school teams in the state of Utah for sure right now, as well as surrounding states, send receivers and quarterbacks out to do some summer work. And so we're going to have 7-on-7 tournaments where teams are getting those reps in and facing off against teams from outside of their classification, around the state of Utah, even outside of Utah. That's June 9th and 10th, and that's for players that are playing tackle football. And then June 16th and 17th will be a event that will be for high school girls flag football players. We don't currently have that sanctioned in Utah, but the club teams in Utah that are doing it, as well as teams from the Las Vegas area, Southern California, Arizona, they're all going to come up to Cedar City to participate in those events.
John, I've known you for a long time. I know you're aggressive. You want to help promote. You want to not just be a steward of the Utah Summer Games, but continue to improve and grow it. And I got to imagine this is this puts a big smile on your face when you get to see new things and new events being added to the games.
It's really humbling, Scotty. And I mean, yeah, we've known each other a long time. And to think about it for me, growing up in the Utah sports landscape and to steward a program that has Larry H. and Gail Miller's family name attached to it, and then now to be connected to Al Davis's franchise and working on them growing their involvement in the state of Utah, very personally humbling, and very grateful for that opportunity.
Excited for it to be in Cedar City. Scotty and I are going to be headed down there. Excited to be a part of it.
You guys are.
I know. We're so excited. I want to know, how has Cedar City been to work with?
It's amazing here. We have a great, just wonderful group of people. Our university is full of fantastic people. And I think that's what we're excited is. We're excited to bring really the best high school football teams on our 7-on-7 event. We're excited to bring the best high school football teams from the Wasatch Front, bring them down to meet the best high school skill players from the Las Vegas Valley, and experience it in a great community that's a fun place to be, that's got a lot of great things to do indoor and outdoor. And we're excited to put on a good time for the entire state and the entire I-15 corridor.
So for those that have always heard about the Utah Summer Games but have never been down and never really experienced it and don't really know that much about it, it's a really cool event where there's so many different events, all different age groups. All you have to do is go to utahsummergames.org, and if people want to compete in whatever event, there's still opportunities to be involved, is there not?
Registration is open. We've got everything from pickleball. We've still got a spot for hands in our arm wrestling tournament.
There we go.
We've got a variety of sports, and it really is kind of an Olympics for the state of Utah and surrounding states. And, again, an awesome opportunity to come compete, build community, build camaraderie, and try to have your own Olympic moment competing for Summer Games gold.
Put me in that geriatrics division for arm wrestling. I'll give it a real go, John.
I'll go back to the office and make the note today. Thanks for giving me that clarification, Dan.
I got to imagine some of these have probably taken, for pickleball, it's just been exploded. I got to imagine that's probably a hotly contested event right now.
Oh, it is. We've had to add days to the tournament just to fit everybody. And, again, we're really unique because, right, guys, we're 3 hours from Vegas, roughly 3-ish hours from the Wasatch Front. So it's a central place where you get people that are interested from both of those major markets coming together. That's, again, even back to the Raiders piece, is bringing those two major metropolitan areas together. And we do that in many sports.
UtahSummerGames.org. I'm going to tweet out links to the football 7-on-7 as well as the girls flag football competition. But, John, you're the best, man. We look forward to further conversations leading up, and we cannot wait to get down there and hang out with you coming up here in June.
We're excited to show you guys a good time, and thanks for having me on, fellas. Hope you're well, my friend.
Thanks, John.
You got it. One of the best dudes you'll ever meet. John Oglesby, helping run the Utah Summer Games, the executive director of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
You and I will have a blast down there.
Yeah, we will.
I know we're going to be down there for a couple of days, and Rightfully so. I don't know if there's a better way to spend a couple of days throughout the summer.
And hanging out in Cedar City.
Yeah.
I mean, it's warm. It's not got the oppressive Vegas heat, but it's still warm.
Or
It's
St.
great.
George heat.
Yeah. Yep.
It's still up in the mountains. We're about the same elevation in Cedar City as we are right here in Salt Lake City.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.